What's going on, guys? This is my first video coming back from, trying to make YouTube videos. I decided finally to kind of do some stuff. This is my first video that I'm gonna do. It's gonna be doing some stuff on my wife's truck. Some 21 plus bolt-ons for a couple of these F-150s. Powerboost, but it'll be kind of the same for just regular Ecoboost. We're going to change the cooler intake. We're gonna do a UPR catch can system, and we are going to upgrade the intercooler as well. By the way, I hope this mic sounds good because I just got it, so I'm trying it out. So let me know down in the comment section. So this right here is actually AFE Power Momentum GT. I actually got that, and intercooler, got a tune as well, and we're gonna do some maintenance on the truck. So we'll start off with taking this off. So let me get some tools and we'll come right back to it, all right? All right, so for this install, you will need 7mm and a couple of extensions with the 13. 13 will be for this bolt. As you can see here, we have this bolt right here, which is a 13mm. And then these are gonna be 7mm right here and right here. Make things a lot more easier, we are only going to take off this clamp, which is a 7mm right there. And then the one down here, which you can see from my finger over here, give you a better view. On this side, it'll be right in there, right there. So to make it easier, a lot of people like to take this one off as well. You don't have to do that. All you got to do is take these two push pins out, and then this comes off. Take this 13mm off, and then take that one and down there as well, 7mm, and then the whole thing comes right off. So a lot of people like doing it by taking the top of the airbox off first and then doing everything. But honestly, you can just it comes out as an assembly. You can just do that. All right, so I already went ahead and took off this bolt. This is the 13mm. Did it with the ratcheting wrench because it's hard to take a socket through here with this. But I went ahead and already unbolt this clamp. Now we're gonna unbolt the bottom clamp, which I will do right now as well. And then it's kind of hard to get to, if I'm being honest. I did loosen it, so there we go with that. So now what we do is we just put this, I don't want to mess with the camera. You pull on this, bring it all the way out. As you can tell, everything's out. And then you just pull on this right here. Take that off, and then you pull, and it comes right out. Oh, almost forgot. Do not forget to disconnect your sensor. And you have a little nipple right here. You just pull on that. Do not forget to disconnect this. Bring this right out. All right, guys, had a complete mess up with the phone recording. Lost a lot of footage, but we are gonna put the UPR catch can system, which is it has 3 fittings connected to it. I forgot the perfect name for it. I've had it for a while. I just took it off because we're gonna trade it in. But yeah, so we are going to start on the on the passenger side. We're gonna start from there. I'm not gonna do a lot of cutting and footage and deleting and blah, blah, blah. I wanna make y'all see the whole struggles of it and the real stuff of it. Some people take off the footage and then you're like, well, what's happened now? So just to avoid that, I will show everything. Sorry if the video is long and annoying. Sorry about that, but I wanna make it the best possible way for y'all to actually get to see all this stuff. But it is best to take off the cooler intake, and you need to take it off because the catch can system will fit over here on the driver's side, right under the cooler intake. So let's get right into it. Let me get that. So this is your UPR catch can system. So this is, like I said, 3 fittings. It does connect right over here. So I have 2, which are the long ones that are gonna go to my passenger side, where the actual intake manifold fitting is at, and on the PCV for the passenger side system. Now for the driver's side, we have this short one right here, which has the T fitting, as you can tell by looking at it right here. And I have everything connected because, like I said, I had taken it off and I already had it on before. And this is the one that's gonna sit on our valve cover gasket on the driver's side. So this is where the magic happens, of course. So this is where the actual catch can system will catch all the oil, the vapors, all that good stuff will catch it. And then you do have a drain. I optioned out for having the long hose You can buy a fitting to put it in here, or you can make your life a lot easier. As you can tell, mine's all beat up because it does seize on there. Of course, not UPR's fault or anybody's in that scenario. Now, it is just over time, after 5,000 miles, of course, for your oil change interval, it does end up getting stuck on there. So you will struggle to take that off. So to have the little valve at the bottom comes in super clutch all the time. I would highly recommend getting the extended hose that goes to the bottom. That way you can just open the valve and drain it all out. It does make life a lot easier. I've lived this much without it. The truck does have like 10,000 miles, but realistically, I would recommend spending the extra money on that. If you want to go find it yourself at your local hardware store, you can do that as well. Realistically, UPR sells a kit with all that stuff. You do have to add it on, but it is super worth it. I'm not sponsored by them in any sort of way. Like I said, this is my first video back. Not sponsored by anybody. Now, with that being said, it's just I like their products. They have been really nice to me with using them on my own cars. So that's why I have it on here. So let's get right into it, into the install. All right, so I do have my phone kind of a tripod thing. Now, I am going to try my best and kind of give you the whole overview of everything. So this relay box right here, this has 2 clips on the side of it. And let me see if I can bring you in a little. So this has 2 clips right here on this relay box. So one on the right side and one on the left side. So you just grab onto these 2 and then you just pull it right on out. This won't fight you. So we can move that out of the way for now. It's just literally a relay box, so we can put it right there for now. And then we can focus on this fitting right here, which comes on to this turbo right here, which is on the left side, which would be, of course, the driver's side. So then we have the little fitting right there. What we will do is we will get this fitting and then you will push up on that. You will push up and then all you do, sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, is you just push and then you pull. So let me do this like that. Try to get you a better angle. And there you go. So all I did was push this and then pull out. Now, for the newer, or excuse me, for the older generation from 21 to 23, I believe so, you do have, and I'll set it up there in the edits, there you do have a different fitting, which is not like this. You will have an orange clip, which UPR does give you the manual on what to do exactly if you have the orange fittings. Now, I did see a little bit of it, and you would have to come in here and then use a pick to take it out and a heat gun and all that stuff. So unfortunately, it is going to be a lot more difficult on the older models, excuse me, and a little bit easier on this ones with the clip, of course. So I will put that, I will link the instructions for the UPR system in the description, and I will put a screenshot of that manual up here as well. All right, guys, so after that step, what we're gonna do now is that you will disconnect this top piece, which will be the same exact thing as that bottom one. So then, and then we move to the passenger side, which on the passenger side, we're going to remove this fitting right here, which is this one right there, and this fitting that goes to the manifold, all right? Now, with that being said, get yourself a step, which for me, it's a bucket. Come up here, then we'll disconnect this. So be careful where you lay your hands on and stuff like that. The hybrid system is here. For the regular Ecoboost, you won't have the hybrid system or anything, but just be careful where you lay and put your hands and stuff. So here, we do the same thing, which I'll try to show you. And then get that clip and then pull. And then same thing down here. So this one's a little bit kind of more, you got to give it a little bit of more of a finagle to it. All right, so that one is in the bottom, as you can see down in there, kind of. Let's see, I'm gonna show y'all right there. So you just go ahead and do the same exact thing. Grab it, pull it, and then it comes right off. All right, same thing with the driver's side. Come in here, course, the clip is right back there. Grab it, then pull up on it. There you go. Alrighty. So now that the passenger side is uninstalled and the driver side is uninstalled for the PCV system and the hose, now we're going to put our UPR catch can over here on the driver's side. We're going to mount it, and then I will disconnect the hoses from the UPR catch can itself. I should just call it a catch can. So I will disconnect the hoses from the catch can itself, show you how to mount it over here, and then we can get the lines routed and installed. All right, guys, so this is the catch can. Now this Allen, I believe it's at 5. I don't remember exactly. I had pre-installed it from a while back. But this right here, this is a 17 millimeter. So this is actually what you're gonna put. Now, like we saw, I moved this fuse box out of the way, or the relay box, excuse me. So what we do is that we come over here. I already have my catch can angled in this way. So I will find, which hole was it? See, I already forgot from the last time. There is, got a flashlight for y'all now. Everything's made out of plastic though, so now, and aluminum, so now I can't even put my flashlight down anywhere. Or we can, I guess, yeah, that grabs right there. So before I do that, this hole right here, down in this bottom where the fuse box, or excuse me, the relay box would be at, where the mounting points are right here. These two little squares. See if I can zoom in real quick. Oh, too much. There we go. So these little squares right here, there's one over here and one where my fingertip is at. That bolt down there, or that hole, we can mount it right there. So let's put this back. There we go. So now we grab the UPR catch can. I keep calling it UPR catch can, which it is, but I should just say catch can. Point it towards the bottom. Of course, the valve you can see down there. Mine's all beat up and stuff, but that valve right there, down towards the bottom. Now, mine, like I said, I did pre-do it already, but what you would usually do is that you would grab this bolt right here, put it through the inside, bring the threads out, and then just thread it in right here. And yours will be easier because yours will just be the mounting bracket. So then we tighten this up by hand. Get it nice and tight. And then after that, you have your mounting bracket. You can come back and actually put the bracket itself and see how you want to adjust it to put it to your specs, however you would like it. Now, of course, like I said, we do have a little bit more stuff because this is a Powerboost, so we have the hybrid pumps and all that stuff going around here. Now, sorry, it is super hot out here. We are going to just put it right here, and I will tighten it up with my 17 millimeter. Get this in here. So let's tighten this up. Now be patient because it will be a little bit more kind of aggravating after a while. And if you're doing this outside in the heat, trust me, you will regret it. So do it in the shade. As you can see, everything's made out of plastic and aluminum, so it bends a little bit, but it is bolted to the chassis, so it is sturdy. Now, we're going to route the lines going from the catch can all the way to the other side. So before we do that, this fuse box for the Powerboost, or relay box, excuse me, will no longer fit in the OEM spot. Like I said, you won't be able to mount it anymore. So what we can do is we can just move it out of the way. So we can leave it here and zip tie it, or in this case, they have it like this. We can flip it upside down like this as well. The cables and everything are up here. So as long as you take that in mind, even if water splashes through the bottom, it won't get harmed because, of course, the actual fender well is covering it as well. So what you can do is just put it out of the way. We can leave it right there for now, and then we'll get back to it later. Like I said, you can zip tie it, or you can leave it right there as well temporarily. We are going to temporarily leave it there, or it just might stay there, honestly. I will leave it there because I am going to put an aftermarket coiler intake on it, so it really doesn't have anywhere else to move other than right there. So we can move that aside for there right now. So now we're going to route the lines. So I will cut back to that here in a bit. So this nipple right here is going to connect to that one. And then the other side for the manifold and the other PCV valve on the right side, which is the passenger side. So let me get that T-fitting for y'all, as we're going to install the T-fitting, which is this one right here, down there, and we're going to install the actual valve. Sorry, I might be wrong, but we are going to connect this valve to the actual upper of the PCV system on the driver's side. So this one, we can lightly lift up on the actual, purge valve. So then now, come in here, lift up on the purge valve itself, then push this up and down. So here, let me show you again that. So all I did to give you in close-up perspective, just pull on this, you can take it out, as I will do right here for now, and then you pull up, and then you press down, and then that will be nice and locked on there. So you do have to move a little bit your PCV. Just be careful with it, not to break any of these hoses and stuff, because they will be pricey. Now for this down here, this T-fitting right here, we connect this T-fitting to this. So these lines won't be connected to it, but of course I have it pre-made already from last time when I uninstalled it. So this right here, do not leave it like that. Do not leave it like that unless the actual manual tells you to leave it like that. But in this case, we have this. So this right here comes with, of course, the UPR catch can system. This says this side towards turbo. So make sure you install this, because if not, you will come into major issues for your airflow. You might have airflow codes and such because of the system. So put this, of course, remember, like it says on there, this side towards turbo. Remember. So then we install it. Turbo's down there, facing that way, and then we put it inside, facing the turbo, of course, which I am doing, just like that. Okay? Then you install your fitting. So we come here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do one-handed. Come in here, put that in there, and then you just, there you go, till you hear that clicking noise. And there we go. That's an install T-fitting. All right, guys, so now the other step. So this fitting right here, where my hand is at, if you can see it up on top, which I will pan the camera towards that way real quick. Excuse me. That fitting right here, since I had it pre-made, I have to disconnect it. Excuse me. Put this on there. Push in and push out. All right. So this fitting right here, see how it has a little bypass or a valve, a one-way valve. So what we're going to do is that it wants us to install it, of course, coming off from this fitting into our actual catch can, which, let me pan the camera again, and then I will show you. Sorry, guys. I know this is terrible, terrible setup. So this one, we are going to put in this first one right here. So there is 3 fittings right there for the actual catch can. So there is 1 right there, 2, and 3. So this one goes to driver's side turbo, which is that one right there. So that fitting that we are currently looking at. So then this fitting right here is going towards this fitting right here, right there. So then our valve, you want to make sure it's actually going one way, which will be towards the turbo. So then we connect it. This third one right here. That one right there. I'm going to put it right there, and then we're going to connect it to that fitting right there. So then we come right here, and then we put it in there. Click it just like that. Alrighty, so that's how we want it. Now make sure that when you do this, that you have enough room where it doesn't bend like this. So unfortunately on my kit, it did come a little too long and it has like a little bend right here. But to compensate for that, I actually moved this of my T-fitting a little bit more this way to kind of compensate for that, and it can actually have airflow going through it without any restrictions. So we got this side done. So passenger side is done. Now let's go onto the passenger side. Driver side, excuse me, we had done. Now go on to the passenger side. Man, I'm just out of it today. All right, guys, so you will have two hoses that look alike. So one of them is gonna be a 90, one of them is gonna be like kind of, I guess, a 45. I'm really bad with angles. But anyways, so the best way you can tell them apart is by one having a check valve and the other one just having no check valve. Oh, there goes my drink. So this one, the middle one that we see here, which I'm touching right there, that middle one will be going to the PCV on the passenger side, which is that one right there. So we're going to route that line going all the way to that PCV to the middle on the driver's side. And then the one with the check valve, which is this one, we will put into the manifold, which is that fitting right there, that one right there. And then after that, we will route the lines. Well, we get the route, excuse me. We will get the lines routed, then we'll connect them, and then we'll go from there. Now, the hard part about routing these lines, of course, is that the matter of fact that there is so much stuff on these Powerboost and even Ecoboost with the actual charge pipes and all this, and the coolant reservoirs, and all these fittings everywhere, especially on the Powerboost, which you can see all these coolant hoses everywhere and stuff like that. There's just so many places that things can go wrong. Now, with that being said, to keep it simple, I will try my best to show y'all how to route it, okay? All right, guys. Got the lines routed. Took a lot longer than what I expected. So, like I said, this one goes to your passenger side valve cover, and this one with the check valve comes from your manifold all the way down here to the one all the way on the left side. Center, left side, right side. We'll call it for this video. Now, with that being said, I will show you the way I routed the lines. Everybody's going to have their own ways. This is a Powerboost, so we have this gigantic coolant passage, whatever you want to call that. So this right here is all coolant, of course, for the hybrid system. So I tried routing it through here and the other one through here as well, between these two lines and between these two lines, or three, I guess you can say. And it did work. But you have, depending on the length of your hoses, you do have, as you can tell by those right there, you do have a long hose that they give you. Now, they are going to be different lengths, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit longer, so it just depends. Now, with that being said, mine were really long. So fortunately, I was able to route them under this turbo pipe right here. And then between right there, right under the coolant passage and between the throttle body where the charge pipe goes down towards the intercooler. So routed it through the back of that, snaked it through under these purge valve hoses, which I am embarrassed by calling that a PCV earlier, but through these hoses coming under through here, of course, and routing them this way. So with this one, I could have routed, I went ahead and did it under this one over here because I rather, if they're going to shift against anything while the car is running, I rather them be these hoses that I can replace, and they are a lot more durable than the stock ones that are plastic. But I rather replace these than I would something like that, because then it can leave you stranded and so on and so on and so many issues as well. So with that being said, I routed them like that, so that way it won't be touching anything. The piping, of course, for the turbo is made out of hard plastic, so not too much effect there. As well as in there, just be careful with the wires for your sensors, of course. And let me show you on this side. They are coming through under the charge pipe and over the passenger side turbo, which it is going through the top as well. So as we can see here, they are not touching anything else. They're not touching there. It looks like in camera, but it's not. And then it goes to the intake manifold, and it goes to the PCV on the passenger side. So all you do is just click them in there, this one as well. And like I said, this is the routing that I decided to take. And it was a little bit easier to do so like that. Now, like I said, it also depends, of course, if your lines are a little bit shorter, then you might be able to get away with going through here. Just be really careful not to let them sit on actual rubber hoses. Kind of more hard plastic, take it, because they can take a little bit of beating. But the rubber, of course, it is rubber, so be careful with that. Now, like I did say, it is a lot easier, and you will have to take off your cold air intake. So if you are thinking about upgrade to a cold air intake and you want to put a catch can system on the truck, I would highly recommend doing so on both of them. So right now, got that installed, got the lines routed, everything is good to go on the UPR catch can setup. So we are done. Now I do have this Momentum GT, which went ahead and bought this one. I did have a Roush cold air intake. Purchased this one with the intercooler and the liver noise tune. So let's get this one installed. Now it's simple. It's so simple, honestly. Same thing as like how I took off the stock one. It's gonna go kind of in 2 pieces though, instead of 1 whole piece. People like to take it out in 2 pieces for the stock one, and then I showed you how to do it in just 1 piece. So this one, unfortunately, it does have to go in by 2 pieces, but it's super easy. So there is 2 fittings down here that you want to line up, and then just push down on it, make sure it's all in there. As you can tell, the catch can system is installed and good to go on that. So put this in here, and then let's get the tube in there. Alrighty guys, so bringing in the actual filter, which I'll take this part off. Install this real quick on this side, which is the filter. Oh, actually before, almost forgot. Got to put this bolt in here. Can't forget about that. Now, one thing that I actually forgot again is this rubber bushing and this little collar that come from the stock box. So all you do is literally, there's a little fork like this on the actual stock air box. You pull this out like so, and then you just slide this upwards like that. Then on this one in particular, which I have to remove all this out of the way again. On this one in particular, as we see here, you put this little bushing. You can go through the inside or outside, it doesn't matter. Come in here. Yeah, of course it's easier like this. I don't know why I said that. And just bring it up, bring it in, kind of make it work. It is a bushing, so, you know, it is rubber, so you won't hurt it as much. So that's it. And then we go through with the collar, put it inside. There you go. As you can see, the collar coming out. And now we're ready to install it. Make sure we line up those 2 little bushings in the bottom, or little nipples to those bushings in the bottom. Get that nice and on there, pushed. Don't forget, oh, yeah, I'm definitely not taking it out of there. Leaving that in the edit. Don't forget your bolt. Taking a lot longer than I expected. All right, there we go. Now for this part, this is why I recommended having an extension with your 13, because on this one, you can't put a ratcheting wrench in there. So you come in here with your impact, or by hand is fine. If you don't have an impact, then you just hit it. There you go. Now comes in the filter. You can tell mine's dirty because, like I said, I did have all this stuff installed. Had to take it off because we're gonna trade this truck in, but ended up keeping it. Clicks right in. You got a nice little seal all around that. Then now comes the tube. So this is the intake tube. I am missing a clamp, so let me go find that. Leave this here for now. All right, got my clamp. And then the piece of resistance, we'll leave that on the side. We'll get this intake tube installed. So with this one, it takes a little bit of finagling. Now, little secret for you guys out there, you can use a little bit of engine oil, or I like to rather use dielectric grease. Put a little bit in here, just a tiny bit. I'll show you actually how to do that. This is actually brake lube, which is fine. Like I said, you can use a little bit, just you never want to go in dry. You know what I'm saying? Come in here, rub it a little bit around. Like I said, just a super thin layer. I don't even think I used enough actually. So there we go, as you can see. So just rub it on in there, and then just come in here, rub it around inside. Still didn't use enough, which is insane. We'll use it on there. Then we'll use it, and trust me, you will want to do this because If you ever got to take this on or put it on and off and on and off, and trust me, it will be worth it at the end of it. So this one got a little bit too much in there. So just enough now. Okie dokie. Put this up. Gotta try to keep the clothes clean. All right, so let me give you my angle actually. So right here is what I'm working with. So right now we are down in there, which we are trying to put this fitting, which is that bottom fitting. That fitting right there, we're trying to clamp it in there, and then that one up there as well. So like I said, camera angles are going to be a little terrible. Sorry about that, guys. Dang, AFE power right there. First video, sorry. You know, let me know down in the comment section how I'm doing. Honestly, would be great if you can tell me how I'm doing. If I'm doing okay, you know, let me know what I can improve on. Let me know. If you just want to go tell me to go F myself, you can as well. Alrighty, so let's see here. So this clamp, unfortunately, was a little bit too big whenever I was trying to take it off the intake tube, so I had to take it all the way off. But as long as you're careful putting it back in, you're 100% fine. So we'll put that there. That bottom piece, like I told y'all, when lubing it up, excuse the camera angles, literally just slid right in perfectly. So now I just got to do that one, then go from there. Let me put y'all at a good angle as well. It's pretty good. All right. And then this one right here, turn it a bit. And make sure when you install your clamps, make sure you can actually get to them, because sometimes people install these, put the clamps at a weird angle, and then you can never take them off. It's literally a pain in the butt doing it all the time. So went ahead and got this already sealed over here. So we're going to fight this fitting right here. Get her done. Like I said, I will leave all of it unedited so you can know how much of a pain in the ass it is, if it is a pain in the ass. All right, there we go. Now, some of you may say, you forgot the clamp. Like I said, it's okay if you take it off as long as you're careful with putting in the worm clamp itself back in there. So in this case, put it around, bring it up, and now, give you a little angle of it. And now, we'll actually clamp that in there like that. Honestly, I see why YouTubers say, oh, this thing takes a long time, or and so and so. It is a lot of work, honestly, making these videos and doing, you know, automotive work in your garage at like almost 100-degree weather. It takes a toll on you, not gonna lie. And we are only halfway done because I still got to do an oil change on this, which, you know, I can include it in the video, but it will definitely bore y'all. And I feel like that everybody knows the basics of it. But all right, let's do this. Getting that in there. All right. So now that one right down there, that one's gonna be a nice one. So you see how I said at the beginning of this, how you gotta watch where you put those clamps at? Well, that's exactly the reason why, because this one, you can't really get to it. So you have to actually make sure you get a good angle so that way you can hit it with your impact or your ratchet, whatever you got in hand. So let's go ahead and get that going. Alrighty, so let's tighten that one up. Like I said, it is a little bit in a worse spot. Now, I did realize this is an 8 mil for this aftermarket one. The stock one is 7 millimeters. So let's get this tightened down. So you're gonna use some extensions, little 8 millimeter. Now it doesn't take too much, of course, because you don't want to break the worm clamp either. But do a little tug on it, which we still haven't tightened up this part, but do a little tug on that. She make sure it don't come out, and it doesn't. So now we fix this right here, which mine unfortunately is, the clamp is broken, unfortunately. So mine kind of sticks like that a little bit, has that kind of feel to it like that. Now, do I think it's gonna pop out like that? Of course not, because this is sucking in air, not blowing back. So I will unfortunately have to leave it like that. I do have to get a new clamp. So the last thing to do from here is putting your push pins in here. So you don't have to put them in, but I would recommend it, of course, because these keep it a little bit more stable, which is not going anywhere, but you know, it's better to put it how it was. And then the last piece of resistance, put your little cover in there. Take two. We don't want to break it either, because I have broken some before, being an idiot. So let's try this. There you go. Nice and done. So that is your cold air intake. Now let's actually go back down and let's do the intercooler. All right, guys. So I will be making another video about the intercooler install. Today I just wanted to get the cold air intake and the UPR catch can installed. That way, with the intercooler, it'll be next time, or next video, excuse me. I'm still gonna do it right now, but I just want to do it in another video, so I won't have to make it as long. So there'll be a part 2 to this video basically, and then that'll be all for that. Of course, this was my first video. The second one is kind of my first video as well, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know what I can improve on. If there is stuff you want to see later on, suspension, wheels and tires. More stuff to come for this one. Of course, more stuff to come for the Mustang as well. If you do want to know more about the Mustang, let me know down in the comments below. I'll make a whole new video about that. I just don't want to sit and bore you guys, because I know, like, whenever a YouTuber or somebody makes a video just talking and talking, it can get really kind of, you know, one, annoying, or two, it can just be really boring. So I don't want to make that happen. So let me know down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. Like I said, I am trying this out, so anything helps. Thank you guys, and have a good one.